Welcome to Smith Kaizer. Don't forget to subscribe, like and comment to get the latest news about Kaizer Chiefs. Key player absent from Kaizer Chiefs squad for CAF Confederation Cup clash. Kaizer Chiefs have announced their traveling squad to Angola for their CAF Confederation Cup clash against Kabuskop on Saturday. The Soweto Giants will be without important defender Thabiso Motaung, who missed the Betway Premiership defeat to Sekhukhune United due to injury. Moreover, Nkanyiso Shinga and Ethan Chislett, who are both yet to make their debuts since they were lured from abroad, were omitted from the squad. Other new signings who are yet to don the famous black and gold jersey, including Asano VELEBAYI, Luke Bartman, Idisi Ighodaro, and Kaizer Mayo are also not in the squad. On the other hand, there is no update on the status of Nasreddine Nabi, who is said to have reached a mutual agreement on. There are no friendly games, Kaizer Chiefs coach after winning Kufa Cup. Kaizer Chiefs beat Marumo Gallants on penalties to claim the Kufa Cup, but Nabi is not pleased with how his team played on Sunday. Kaizer Chiefs claimed the Kufa Cup after beating Marumo Gallants 4-3 on penalties at the Toyota Stadium on Sunday. The match had ended 0-0 in regulation time and penalty kicks had to separate the two teams. Amakosi's coach said after the match that he was not pleased with how his side played. The Soweto Giants face off against SuperSport United in the Carling Knockout Last 16 this coming weekend. Speaking after the game, the Kaizer Chiefs coach said his side created lots of chances in the Kufa Cup but failed to score. It was a very intense game. It was an excellent thing, winning a trophy, but we created a lot of chances, he said on Sabk Sport. Just like against Sundowns, we also created a lot of opportunities. This is a big problem, that we're missing chances. Advertisement. I want a winning mentality. There are no friendly games. In friendly games, you need a positive attitude and a winning attitude. In exercises in training, I want to win. Kaizer Chiefs win Kufa Cup. If I lose, it's a problem. I don't sleep. I want this mentality. We lose momentum in the game, we gave the other team a chance to gain control. This is unacceptable, the Tunisian added. Secondly, we play cup against SuperSport. This is a very bad repetition. Maybe the SuperSport coach was watching, and if we reach penalties again I need to change takers. Kaizer Chiefs fielded a strong team for the Kufa Cup with the likes of Miguel Inacio, Bradley Cross and Ranga Chivaviro playing. Zwan is emerging as a threat to Yusuf Mart. Everyone knows that 22-year-old Sam Zwan is a gifted technician with the ball. However, there were questions about his defensive abilities and tactical smartness when his side was out of possession. Manager Nasreddine Nabi has seen the player make strides in both of those departments lately, and that's a good thing for all concerned. However, skipper Yusuf Mart might be under threat. The 29-year-old is still a key operator for Chiefs, but it's easy to envisage him being replaced by Zwan in the engine room within the next 2 years. Zwan wouldn't be a like-for-like replacement for Mart, as the two athletes are slightly different player profiles, but they largely operate in the same portion of the pitch. Kaizer wants another midfield schemer at Chiefs. According to Soccer Laduma, Cedric Kaizer has suggested Chiefs battle Sundowns for Tanzanian midfielder Faisal Salum. He's a player Kaizer and Nasreddine Nabi know well with their vast experience of league football in that country. However, rumored interest from Maison Dawana would drive the 26-year-old's price up. Salum has 37 caps and 3 goals for his country. There could be more changes in the playing staff at Chiefs in January. You know the Tanzanian midfielder that Mamelodi Sundowns have been following, Faisal Salum? Kaizer is now after him. Actually, the assistant coach Cedric Kaizer is believed to have proposed him to the club, as both he and Nabi know him from Yanga. He played under them before joining Azam and he feels there is a role he can play at the club, hence his suggestion to the team. It's just that at Chiefs for now, when they are ready they will approach Azam. But there is that talk at the club now about Faisal Salum, said the source. Likely Kaizer Chiefs 11 vs SuperSport, 1 change? Changes will be kept to a minimum after Chiefs 4-0 drubbing of Mazatsen's last time out. Edson Castillo could come into the engine room to replace Sam Kalozwan, although manager Nasreddine Nabi has been singing the 22-year-old schemer's praises. Wrong, the Chivaviro has scored in 3 games on the bounce and will lead the line. Chivaviro, Yusuf Mart, Ashley Dupreez and the evergreen Gaston Sereno were the goal scorers last weekend. Chiefs and Mazatsen's lock horns on Saturday 26 October at 17:30, Ntwari, Frosler, Miguel, Dortley, Cross, Mart, Castillo, Sereno, Shabalala, Duba, Chivaviro. Mazatsense are in awful form. SuperSport now have a dismal 4 points after 5 league outings in the 2024-2025 Betway Premiership season. Of course, a man of his caliber and experience is fully capable of turning things around, but the signs aren't great so far. When is injured Tashreeq Morris expected to be back for Kaizer Chiefs? Nasreddine Nabi issues an update. I would say that it hurts us a lot. The Amakosi January signing lasted just 26 minutes against Mamelodi Sundowns before being stretchered off the pitch. Morris started against Sundowns, but he was injured and taken off. Nabi issues an injury update on Morm. Nasreddine Nabi issues injury update on Munda Vilakazi and 2 others ahead of Kaizer Chiefs' Carling knockout quarter-final showdown with Mamelodi Sundowns. The Amakosi coach will need all his key players ahead of this big clash with their Gombe rivals at home. Chiefs host Downs in Cup game. They have number of injuries in camp. Nabi gives update on injured players. Chiefs host Downs in Cup game. Another injury blow for Chiefs ahead of Arrows tie. Kaizer Chiefs coach Nasreddine Nabi with his players. Pick by Zamani Makutsi/Zakes Photography. Kaizer Chiefs have been plagued by injuries this season, with several players sidelined at various points. The injury woes began early, as Edmilson Dove suffered a significant injury during pre-season in Turkey. This was followed by a serious setback for Edson Castillo, who fractured his fibula after a tackle against SuperSport United in October. Castillo is expected to be out of action until March 2025. Gaston Sereno also suffered injury troubles, being ruled out with a fractured rib after a promising start to the season. Dylan Solomons, Bradley Cross, Brandon Peterson, Nkasinjai File and Kobo, Fiakran Twore, and Teboho Potsane have all experienced setbacks, further compounding the injury crisis. During Amakosi's 2-1 victory over Stellenbosch FC at FNB Stadium, they were forced to make multiple substitutions. Ashley Dupreez was the first to be replaced in the 29th minute, followed by Yusuf Mart, Thawan Dilyokwe, and Wandile Duba, who proved to be the match winner with a brace. Chiefs starlet involved in car accident. Kaizer Chiefs have confirmed that starlet Wiseman Mayewa was involved in an accident on Saturday afternoon. The Amakosi midfielder was rushed to hospital and taken to intensive care unit for monitoring. However, he is stable, and the doctors are yet assessing the seriousness of his injuries. The 18-year-old became the second Amakosi player to be involved in a car accident in recent weeks after attacker Lebohang Manyama sustained an injury in a collision last month. The Glamour Boys released the following statement on the matter, which reads, Kaizer Chiefs midfielder Wiseman Mayewa was involved in a motor vehicle accident on Saturday afternoon on the N3 highway, near Villiers in the Free State. He was on his way home to Pietermaritzburg. The player was rushed to hospital and taken to intensive care unit for monitoring. He is stable, and doctors are still assessing the seriousness of his injuries. An update will be shared once more details are available. We wish him a speedy recovery. Wiseman Mayewa was involved in a motor vehicle accident today on the N3 highway. He was rushed to hospital and taken to intensive care unit for monitoring. He is stable, and doctors are still assessing the seriousness of his injuries. We wish him a speedy. Dashiki, Kaizer Chiefs, potholes, road accidents and all that jazz. Onabanjo University, Ogoiwoy, Ogun State, died in a road crash that occurred along Blazon-Ogoiwoy Road on Friday. According to a statement issued on Saturday by the spokesperson for the Ogun State Police Command, Omilola Adutola, the accident occurred at about 3:30 p.m. on Friday. Adutola said that the students were occupants of a commercial Opel Zafira vehicle which flipped into the bush while the driver was driving at high speed.
Would you take a call from Kaizer Chiefs?
Accident. Kaizer Chiefs have confirmed that starlet
Wiseman
has discussed whether he would have taken on Saturday afternoon.
From Kaizer Chiefs
the Amakosi
club's
new
head
head was
coach
rushed to hospital and taken to
58,
intensive care unit
was
for
unveiled as
monitoring.
new Al Wada
However,
FC
he is stable
in the
and the
United
doctors
Arab
are yet
Emirates on
assessing the
Saturday
seriousness
evening.
of his
Earlier in the
injuries.
day,
The
Mosamein was talking to local
became the
media at
second
the official
Amakosi
launch
player
of the
to be
Pizzo
involved in a
Mosamein
car accident
when
in
he
recent
addressed a
weeks
host of
after
attacker
attacker
including his dream
Lebuhang
to
sustained
create
an
the player
injury
of
in a
tomorrow
collision
and
last
to launch
month.
a football
The
specific
Glamour
school
boys
in
released
South
the following
Africa.
statement on the
During
matter.
the festivities,
Kaizer
Mosamein
Chiefs
also met
midfielder
local
Wiseman
media and was
Mayele
asked whether he would have considered joining
Kaizer
on Saturday
Chiefs,
afternoon
who are
on
still
the
in
N3
talks with
highway
former Young
near
Africans
Villiers in the
coach
Free State.
Nasreddine Nabi.
He was on his way
It's
home
not
to
about
Peter
Kaizer
Meritz
Chiefs.
He responded.
The player was rushed
We
to
will
hospital
coach
and
anywhere where
taken
there
to
is a
intensive
project
care
that we
unit
think
for
is good and
monitoring.
is right.
He is
But
stable,
we're not
and
in a
doctors
position
are
to be
still
sending
assessing the
applications
seriousness
form.
of his injuries.
We
An
don't
update
application
will be
forms.
shared once more details
If somebody
are available.
really
We
wants
wish
you,
him a speedy
he'll come to
recovery.
you.
He'll talk
Wiseman
to you.
Mayele was
When
involved
asked
in a
whether
motor
he would take a
vehicle
direct
accident
call
today
from
on the
Amakosi
N3
chairman
highway,
Dr. Kaizer
he was
Mota
rushed to hospital and taken to intensive
about
care
the project
unit
more
for
than the
monitoring.
name of the club.
He is stable,
and
and
doctors are still
anybody.
assessing the
He added,
seriousness of his injuries.
I'm a professional,
We
I'm a
wish him
football
a speedy.
coach. I take a
Dishiki,
call from
Kaizer
anybody.
Chiefs.
I don't
Potholes,
discriminate.
road
I don't
accidents and
judge.
all that jazz.
I'm a professional.
Onabanjo
I look at the
University,
project.
Ogoiwoy,
Is the project good?
Ogun State,
Worth to do
died
it?
in a road crash
Look
that
where we
occurred
came
along
from
Blazon-Ogoiwoy Road on Friday.
I knew about the challenges.
According to a
the
statement
team was
issued
under
on
administration.
Saturday by the
We all knew about
spokesperson
it.
for the Ogun State
While
Police
police are still
Command,
mulling over their
Omilola
technical
Adutola,
team changes,
the accident
with
occurred
even
at
a
about
stay of
3:30
R31
p.m.
not
on
completely
Friday.
ruled out.
Should they not
said
be
that
able
the
to agree
students were
terms with his
occupants of a
replacement?
commercial Opel
Mosamein
Zafira
will take
vehicle
on the
which
fifth
flipped into the
coaching
bush
job
while
of
the
his
driver
career
was
after
driving at high
Super
speed.
United, Mamelodi Sundowns, Al Ahly, and Al Ahly Saudi. Sundowns Pizzo Mosamein kicks off mind games. Kaizer Chiefs coach Steve Kompfella and his Mamelodi Sundowns counterpart Pizzo Mosamein sparred with each other over the unwanted underdog tag at their pre-match media conference on Thursday ahead of Saturday's premiership matchup. On Wednesday, Mosamein, winning the PSL's Coach of the Month award for February, had declared Chiefs favourites for the crucial fixture at FNB Stadium. He was at it again, sitting alongside his Chiefs counterpart Kompfella at a media conference in Houghton, though Mosamein did have a little more than the normal glint in his eye while he said, "We are the underdogs at this point in time. Because Kaizer Chiefs have been doing better than us in the league. If you check the last 7 or 8 games, they have not lost. There was a stage where they won 5 in a row. And we envy them and wish we could win 5 in a row too. And they have drawn 3 recently, but we have drawn 2 and lost 1. So we are not in a very good space at the moment." Chiefs starlet involved in car accident. Kaizer Chiefs have confirmed that starlet Wiseman Mayele was involved in an accident on Saturday afternoon. The Amakosi midfielder was rushed to hospital and taken to intensive care unit for monitoring. However, he is stable, and the doctors are yet assessing the seriousness of his injuries. The 18-year-old became the second Amakosi player to be involved in a car accident in recent weeks after attacker Lebuhang Manyama sustained an injury in a collision last month. The Glamour boys released the following statement on the matter, which reads, "Kaizer Chiefs midfielder Wiseman Mayele was involved in a motor vehicle accident on Saturday afternoon on the N3 highway, near Villiers in the Free State. He was on his way home to Pietermaritzburg. The player was rushed to hospital and taken to intensive care unit for monitoring. He is stable, and doctors are still assessing the seriousness of his injuries. An update will be shared once more details are available. We wish him a speedy recovery." Wiseman Mayele was involved in a motor vehicle accident today on the N3 highway. He was rushed to hospital and taken to intensive care unit for monitoring. He is stable, and doctors are still assessing the seriousness of his injuries. We wish him a speedy dashiki, Kaizer Chiefs, potholes, road accidents and all that jazz. Onabanjo University, Ogoiwoy, Ogun State, died in a road crash that occurred along Glazan-Ogoiwoy Road on Friday. According to a statement issued on Saturday by the spokesperson for the Ogun State Police Command, Omilola Adutola, the accident occurred at about 3:30 p.m. on Friday. Adutola said that the students were occupants of a commercial Opel Safira vehicle which flipped into the bush while the driver was driving at high speed.